All right, the Trump administration is now facing backlash this morning after its partial release of additional Jeffrey Epstein case files. On Friday, the Justice Department released 3 million documents and photos related to the convicted sex offender. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says their review is over and indicated there would be no new charges. Epstein victims and Democrats are slamming these developments, saying they want more answers and accountability. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna says he wants to meet with Blanche.
He said he's open to meeting with members of Congress. He's said he's open to explaining why the redactions were done. So I hope that we will have a meeting. If we don't get the remaining files, if we do not get the remaining 302 forms, the remaining prosecution memo from 2019, and if the survivors are not happy, then Thomas Massie and I are prepared to move on impeachment or contempt.
Now, these files include hundreds of references to President Trump, who's never been charged with any wrongdoing. Mr. Trump says the newly released documents absolve him. We've got team coverage on this for you this morning. CBS News foreign correspondent Remi Inocencio is outside Buckingham Palace covering former Prince Andrew's inclusion in the Epstein files. But first, CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman is with us in studio to break it all down. Katrina, good morning. This is a substantial release of documents. What, if anything, though, is new?
So we're seeing a number of things, Errol, including people from Trump's inner circle who had claimed to not have connections with Epstein or have not spent time with him. And now we're seeing information that they actually did go to the island or maybe try to. For instance, with Elon Musk, there's an email where he says, "What day or night will be the wildest party on your island?" This was written to Jeffrey Epstein in 2012. And he had previously said that he had no interest in going to that island. He has responded and said, if I actually wanted to spend my time partying with young women, it would be trivial for me to do so without the help of a creepy loser like Epstein, and I would still have 99% of my mind available to think about other things. Another person that has come out in these new documents is Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. He and his family, it looks like, spent time on the island with Epstein. Also, he appears to have had a lunch with Epstein. Someone wrote back on the behalf of Epstein and said it was nice to see him, to Howard Lutnick. Lutnick's response was, "I spent zero time with him." So we're seeing more and more connections come out. Also, a lot of mentions of President Trump, including in unverified tips to the FBI. Of course, none of these men have actually been accused of any wrongdoing. With Trump, also, someone who worked with Epstein told investigators that he did see Trump at the house. Trump has said that actually these documents absolve him of any wrongdoing, but just more and more information coming out here.
And despite the mentions of Mr. Trump, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who formerly was Mr. Trump's private attorney, he downplayed any allegations or information from the files. Let's just quickly play for our viewers what he had to say.
It's not about President Trump. It's about a ton of people, multiple people that were, quote, in the Epstein files. And what I think folks will see when they review the materials we released is that there have been hundreds of calls made to the FBI where allegations are made by either anonymous individuals or people who are very quickly determined to not be credible, whether it's the nature of what they're saying or the fact they won't provide any information or corroboration. And that's part of the Epstein files.
And Blanche also suggested there will be no new charges. So where does all of this go from here? I
mean, Errol, this is not done. People feel that there are still millions of documents that are not being released here. I believe about 3 million documents left. Todd Blanche has said that they are done releasing any documents. Now, Democratic members of the House Judiciary Committee are asking for a full review of these documents. They want to see what's left. There's also the redactions, Errol. Those need to be scrutinized. What was redacted? Also, what wasn't? It's important to highlight that there was supposed to be an effort to protect the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein here. And some people who had been Jane Does, their names ended up getting revealed in this latest document dump. I mean, the Justice Department says it's because they're going through so many documents. It's hard for them to see everything. But this is by no means done. As we also heard earlier, Rep. Ro Khanna said that there could be potential contempt or impeachment proceedings if officials do not comply here.
All right. Katrina Kaufman, we appreciate the update on all of this.